getting internal operations right has never been so critical to the success of an agency. Why? Well, the world is changing and at record speed. New technology has revolutionised everything, the way we work, the way we live, the way we interact with brands. And that brings both challenges and great opportunities to agencies, along with a firm requirement to redefine and reinvent their processes, their systems, their people.
Agencies are facing many changes depending on the agency, the size and the scale of the agency and the clients that they have. But I think when it comes to fees being cut, I think it's less about fees being cut and more about the money needing to stretch further. So the money needs to work much harder, and we need to be coming up with smarter solutions for our clients, and we need the capabilities and the bespoke talent that can deliver that.
So what we're seeing with marketeers is that they're wanting to experiment with new technology and use new channels. And in return, we're seeing workloads increase, simultaneously procurement working to cut fees. So the operating and financial health of agencies is weakening.
For the last 10 to 15 years, revenues and fees have been cut 2 to 3% per year. At the same time, scope of work in terms of what we've been asked to do has been up to about the same percentage. So what are the solutions? I think in a competitive environment, one of the strongest solutions is to be the best.
The realities of being brave around kind of investment versus what you're being paid to do is that it's scary and it's risky, because we've all gotten to the point in the industry, let alone just my agency, where you invest and you'll do whatever it takes to win that piece of business and retain that business. And again, I suppose it comes back to working smarter and understanding where you can educate the team and the client.
Operations is such a vital part of any agency now, and I think an ops director now sits at the top table. For instance, at Proximity, I work very closely with the CEO, the Executive Creative Director, and crucially, the Chief Financial Officer. And it's about executing internal strategy, but to be able to execute that strategy, you need to be at the table when that strategy is actually developed and pushed through. And that's what op directors, for me, are all about these days.
Head of operations is such an important role, because you need someone that is constantly looking at the business, not just the finances or the clients or the creative output or the many different departments within an agency. You need someone who has the bird's eye view of the whole picture and crucially understands the mechanics of the business, so we can respond to the client and creative needs.
I think when you start in project management, you naturally own a process, so therefore you gain some leadership skills. So I think all of those situations of managing projects and working with senior stakeholders puts you in a really good position to be an ops director. You also have to be a massive people person. You have to be able to talk to everybody, to get underneath the business and to be able to support the CEO to make important decisions.
I think because I've been in the agency for so long, I think lots of my experiences along that journey kind of shaped me along the way, I suppose. So starting in project management and traffic management, and doing a lot of conflict resolution, a lot of sort of budgeting, relationship management, creative delivery, all culminated in me kind of feeling that I could, I suppose, go for that role and perform at that level.
Definitely, the main experience was when I stepped out of an above-the-line advertising role about 15 years ago, at the turn of the century, and I went into a digital business because I realised that a future for an ops director, you'd have to understand where that business was going and what your role as an ops director would be in it.
Obviously, the creative product and the effectiveness of the marketing is still a key factor in the success of a client-agency relationship. But actually, in today's market, business is not won on those factors alone. Clients are demanding agile, lean working practices, streamlined departments and technology solutions.
I work with my CEO on building a commercially efficient business model that is allowing us to respond quickly, to deliver the right solutions for our clients, all the while looking ahead and ensuring that we're developing an agency that is flexible and future-proof.
We're very good at making sure we're attractive to clients and that we look after our clients' best interests. And I think generally we look after our employees' best interests, we certainly try to. But what we fail to do sometimes is look after the agency, which is this kind of third-party being, but actually without a kind of really credible, dynamic, agile agency entity, well, that's kind of irrelevant. We need somebody internally, a head of ops is what we're hiring, who can centralise and be the person who is accountable for the agency's well-being and growth and looks after the interests of the agency at all times, above the interests of clients sometimes.
There's no boundaries anymore, you know, there is opportunity everywhere. I think agencies are hiring more operations directors because the market is changing quicker than ever, and you need to have an agency that is, you know, always 5 steps ahead in its thinking, its planning and its delivery. And if an agency was an orchestra, the head of operations is the conductor.
But the average client agency contract tenure has dropped in the last decade from 7 years to 2.5 years. These guys are promiscuous and they want it all. The planners and creatives can't give them everything they need anymore. Operations directors are more important than ever.